Hello everyone, it's Maki here. Today, I'd like to introduce a Zaft prototype mobile suit. It's the Ginn Tactical Aerial Reconnaissance type. Some of you may be seeing it for the first time, but this mobile suit actually appears in the TV anime series. Here's something special. This Ginn was the first mobile suit in the cosmic era to be equipped with a beam rifle and Mirage Colloid stealth technology. Now, you must have a question in your mind. One beam rifles first put into practical use with the G8TX series, and wasn't Mirage Colloid stealth technology first used with the Brits Gundam? That's exactly the kind of question we'll be exploring today, and I'll be providing some answers. Join me as we explore the hidden allure of this black stealth mobile suit buried within the history of the cosmic era. Before we get into the main topic, I have a quick announcement. On my channel, I'm inviting support through memberships. For just 99 cents a month, you can get a name badge and special comment perks. Alright then, let's start our research. The Ginn Tactical Aerial Reconnaissance type is a mobile suit based on Zaft Ginn. As its name suggests, it was created for the purpose of aerial reconnaissance, but in practice it was essentially a test machine. Its purpose was to mount experimental equipment onto a mobile suit and evaluate its functionality. Perhaps surprisingly, it was also the first mobile suit in the cosmic era to be equipped with a beam rifle. It was also the first to put Mirage Colloid stealth technology into practical use. I will go into more detail about these features in the next section. Another goal of its development was to enable the Ginn to fly. The original space propulsion system installed in the Ginn was replaced with a system called the aeroshell system. This combined turbojet thrusters with variable sweep wings. Operational tests conducted with this prototype mobile suit led to the design of a more advanced system. This in turn led to the creation of the Ginn. To accommodate the aeroshell system, the sensor array originally fitted to the Ginn's head was removed. Instead, the aeroshell covering the head was fitted with a component called the ultra-compact optical sensor element 3-dimensional curved array, which was capable of recording images with extremely high resolution. The same component was installed in another prototype mobile suit, the Baku Tactical Reconnaissance type. Information about the completed Ginn Tactical Aerial Reconnaissance type was kept secret for military reasons. However, the beam rifle and Mirage Colloid particles were the catalyst for a major evolution in mobile suit technology and tactics. Even though the technologies it carried were still in development, the fact that they later greatly changed mobile suit tactics is critically important. Now then, let's take a look at its armaments. The only piece of standard equipment prepared for it is the prototype close combat beam assault rifle. This beam assault rifle actually carries two types of weapon. The first is a short spear designed for close quarters combat. This spear is forged from a special alloy in zero-gravity metalworking facilities. At the base of the spear is a piston driven forward by explosives. When the tip makes contact with an enemy, the explosive charge detonates. This drives the spear deep into the enemy's armor. The heat dissipation holes on the beam rifle are actually for venting the heat and gases produced by this explosive mechanism. It's unclear whether the weapon can be used repeatedly. This weapon closely resembles the pile bunker, a very popular piece of armament not just in Gundam, but in many other robot anime too. However, as the Ginn Tactical Aerial Reconnaissance type hardly ever appears in action, the weapon's actual power remains unknown. Given its primary reconnaissance role, it is likely that it was not very powerful. Furthermore, later successor machines did not inherit this same type of weapon. Then there's the beam rifle. This is very different from the beam rifles that were developed later. It lacks the destructive power needed to pierce enemy armor. Its purpose is to deprive enemy soldiers or pilots of their vision. It is classified as a soft kill weapon. The idea is to use intense light to render enemy cameras and optics incapable of capturing images. Zaft experienced significant challenges in developing compact beam weaponry. They only managed to put anti-mobile suit beam rifles into practical use after successfully stealing the GATX series and obtaining beam rifle technology. It also appears that Zaft standard equipment can be used. In fact, it is recorded that it can be armed with the Zinn's heavy assault machine gun. In the scenes in which it appears in the TV anime, there are moments when it is shown firing a weapon resembling a machine gun. Now, let's talk about the Mirage Colloid stealth. This system uses Mirage Colloid particles to bend visible light, providing stealth capabilities against optical radar. Some might think that the Earth's Alliance's Blitz Gundam was the first to put this equipment into practical use. However, the Zinn Tactical Aerial Reconnaissance type actually carried Mirage Colloid stealth at an earlier point in time. However, since it was only a prototype mobile suit, it was still in the performance evaluation stage and had not yet been deployed in combat. Therefore, it is not incorrect to state that in terms of practical battlefield use, the Blitz Gundam was the first to employ Mirage Colloid stealth. Technologically, however, this Mirage Colloid stealth was still immature. The electric field technology required to control Mirage Colloid particles was still under development, meaning it could not be used in flight. It could only function when on the ground. However, the design intent was also for it to exhibit stealth capability in flight. The coating on its armor included the material that produced an effect called superferrite. This new material was created by restructuring the molecular composition to improve the absorption efficiency of electromagnetic waves. However, this tool was still in the prototype stage, and its performance was likely underdeveloped. Indeed, in the story, there is a scene in which it is easily destroyed by the Archangel warship's attacks. We will take a closer look at the scenes in which it appears in the TV anime later on. Now let's examine its role in the story. It only appears very briefly. It appears in episode 33 of the remastered version. We see the Zinn Tactical Aerial Reconnaissance type carrying out an attack on the warship Archangel. Interestingly, it is not black, but has been painted the standards in gray. It's possible that paint without the superferrite effect was used. It fires a machine gun at the Archangel. However, something looks a little odd. There is a rod-shaped component sticking out in front of the firing light. The weapon's shape resembles that of the prototype close combat beam assault rifle. The exact details of this weapon are unknown. It is possible that the beam rifle portion of the prototype close combat beam assault rifle has been modified to create a machine gun. Alternatively, it is possible that this was simply a production oversight, with the anime staff creating the scene without being informed of the final technical details. In this scene, the weapon carries out its attack simultaneously with a Seagull equipped with the Girl Flight Assist equipment. The fact that it was able to form up with mobile suits using the girl is a very interesting point. At least in terms of its flight wings and thrusters, it seems that the Ginn tactical aerial reconnaissance type had already reached a fairly advanced level of completion. The fact that it is appearing in this battle is also significant. As I mentioned earlier, this mobile suit was officially classified as top secret. So why was such a machine deployed to the battlefield? There is no clear documentation on this. However, the operation being carried out here, Operation Speed Break, was a massive offensive involving soft full strength. In seat recollection, Andrew Waltfeld shared his assessment of the operation. He said, if it weren't for the information leak caused by the traitor, there's no doubt Zaft would have won. Patrick Saw planned this operation with the help of brilliant military minds, including the highly capable commander Mayor Shiver. While it was a near-perfect operation, it also appears to have involved extreme measures, such as throwing prototype weapons that had already served their purpose onto the front lines. The presence of the Ginn tactical aerial reconnaissance type on the front lines can also be interpreted as evidence that Zaft was engaged in a desperate all-out battle. Did I manage to convey the charm of the Ginn tactical aerial reconnaissance type? The relationship between this mobile suit and the GATX series remains unclear. There isn't a single official document that clarifies this. As it was a Zaft military secret, it may have no connection to Earth's Alliance weaponry. However, remember that even the highest level military secret, Operation Speed Break, suffered from information leaks through an insider. Spies from the Earth's Alliance or traitors within Zaft may have leaked technical data. Nodules are often considered inferior to coordinators in terms of technical skill and intelligence. The technology used in the GATX series was surprisingly high level, something that even a coordinator would have found difficult to achieve, but Natural created it. It's possible that research advanced thanks to leaked data or technical assistance of some kind. Of course, that doesn't mean Nodules could never surpass coordinators. In the cosmic era, the highly renowned George Ginn won a silver medal at the Olympics. History also records that a natural athlete outperformed George Ginn and won the gold medal. So, what do you think? How do you think the technologies used in the GATX series came to be? Do you think the Earth's Alliance was somehow provided with information on the Ginn tactical aerial reconnaissance type? Or was it designed entirely thanks to Mal Ramius's genius? It's fascinating to imagine the different possibilities in the cosmic era through the lens of the Ginn tactical aerial reconnaissance type, don't you think? Thank you so much for watching until the end. I'll see you again in the next episode.